Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel, where we meticulously unravel the most intricate and often disturbing secrets hidden within the corridors of power and celebrity influence. Today, we delve into a spectral shadow cast by one of the most reviled of figures of the modern age, Jeffrey Epstein. While his death in 2019 was officially ruled a suicide, the circumstances surrounding his final days have fueled relentless speculation. But what we are uncovering today moves beyond mere speculation. It plunges us into the realm of alleged paranoia, calculated threats, and shockingly, the purported involvement of the highest echelons of the British aristocracy, the royal family itself. Before we embark on this deeply unsettling journey, please take a moment to show your support. If you find these detailed investigations compelling, do remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more exclusive content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your engagement helps us continue to bring these complex stories to light. The narrative we are about to explore centers on the profound and escalating fears experienced by Jeffrey Epstein in the immediate run-up to his demise. Sources, including reports detailed in Woman's Day and commentary provided by seasoned royal experts like Phil Dampier, and historian Andrew Lowney, paint a picture of a man utterly consumed by dread, convinced that powerful, unseen forces were moving against him. It is a known fact that on August 10, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender, whose global network of influence had collapsed around him, died inside the confines of the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York, United States. But according to these accounts, the terror that gripped him in the weeks preceding that fateful day was not merely the fear of prolonged incarceration. It was the chilling, existential fear of assassination, allegedly orchestrated by a power far greater than the U.S. justice system. The paranoia takes root, a shared sense of dread. The disturbing revelations begin with the claim that Epstein was not the only individual proximate to Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, who felt a profound sense of impending danger. A conversation held between commentator Phil Dampier and historian Andrew Lowney brought forth the startling suggestion that Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York and Andrew's ex-wife, also harbored similar, terrifying anxieties about her personal safety and the risks associated with her proximity to the ongoing scandal. This detail is crucial as it suggests that the environment surrounding the Duke of York had become so toxic, so fraught with potential peril, that even those tangentially related to Epstein's world were experiencing a palpable shared sense of dread. The final months of Epstein's life were characterized by an overwhelming sense of instability and imminent exposure. According to the report cited in Woman's Day, Epstein had descended into a state of extreme paranoia. He was allegedly convinced that the vast, dark tapestry of his crimes and connections was about to be fully unfurled for the world to see, leaving no stone unturned and no powerful figure protected. Epstein was in a paranoid state towards the end of his life, and he thought he was about to be exposed, the report stated. This feeling of being cornered, of facing the absolute annihilation of his carefully constructed facade, seemingly drove him to take actions that are both shocking and profoundly criminal in their own right. The alleged threat, targeting the Yorks. It is in this heightened state of emotional distress and paranoid calculation that the most explosive claim emerges. The sources allege that Epstein did not merely fear for his own life. He allegedly sought to eliminate those he perceived as threats or liabilities. In a truly astonishing assertion, it is claimed that Epstein reached out to an individual with specialized lethal skills, a man described as a former member of the highly trained British SAS, the Special Air Service. The purpose of this contact? To commission a murder. Specifically, the report alleges that Epstein spoke to a hitman who was a former member of the British SAS and said he wanted the Yorks dead. The implications of this claim are staggering. The Yorks traditionally refers to Prince Andrew and his immediate family, most prominently Sarah Ferguson, and potentially their daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. While the precise target list within that family unit is not fully delineated in the sources, the intention to eliminate key figures associated with Prince Andrew, the very man who could potentially testify against or further implicate him, speaks volumes about Epstein's desperation. This alleged attempt to utilize a former British military operative to neutralize a member of the royal family, or those closely associated with them, elevates the entire saga from a mere celebrity scandal into a matter of international security and high-stakes conspiracy. It illustrates the lengths to which Epstein was reportedly willing to go to manage the fallout of his disastrous situation. The palace's wrath, a critical tip-off. Epstein's paranoia, however, was not entirely baseless, according to these accounts. The intense fear he experienced was reportedly fueled by a crucial piece of information he received shortly before his death. A source close to the outlet claimed that the convicted sex offender was tipped off by a person connected to Prince Andrew that Buckingham Palace was infuriated by Andrew's longtime connection to him. This revelation serves as the critical turning point in Epstein's final weeks. The outrage emanating from the heart of the monarchy, the seat of British power, would have been palpable, even from across the Atlantic. For years, Prince Andrew had maintained his association with Epstein, even after the financier's initial 2008 conviction. As the scandal reignited and intensified in 2019, threatening the reputation and stability of the entire royal family, the fury at Buckingham Palace, particularly from the highest echelons, would have been immense. The tip-off would have transformed Epstein's generalized anxiety into a focused, targeted fear. He was no longer just worried about federal prosecutors. He was now allegedly concerned about the potential retribution from an ancient, powerful institution dedicated to self-preservation above all else. The specter of royal retribution. It is here that the theory of royal conspiracy takes center stage in Epstein's mind. Commentator Phil Dampier further detailed the nature of this escalating dread, stating plainly, Jeffrey became paranoid that the palace would kill him. This was not merely a random delusion. Epstein allegedly interpreted the palace's fury through a lens of historical and highly publicized conspiracy theory, the tragic death of Diana, Princess of Wales. Epstein held a profoundly disturbing, yet widely circulating belief regarding the 1997 tragedy in Paris. He always believed Prince Philip and the British royal family were behind Princess Diana's death. This historical conviction provides the chilling context for his own escalating fears. If, in Epstein's mind, the British monarchy, and specifically the late Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, had the capacity and willingness to eliminate the tremendously popular mother of a future king to protect the institution, then what chance did a disgraced American financier stand? Epstein allegedly saw himself stepping into the same deadly narrative. He viewed Diana's death not as a tragic accident, but as a successful exercise in institutional elimination. And now, having dragged the Queen's second son into a global scandal of unprecedented proportions, he saw the mechanism of royal protection turning toward him. The sources assert that in the weeks leading up to his own death, Epstein allegedly conveyed this terrifying premonition to those closest to him. He reportedly told them that, given the precedent he believed had been set decades earlier, he was certain he would be next. He predicted he would be the next to be murdered by the royals. The finality in New York. It is impossible to discuss these alleged fears without reflecting on the actual events of August 10, 2019. Epstein died while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges, a trial that promised to expose a vast network of powerful individuals. His death at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York, United States, remains shrouded in controversy and is the subject of countless persistent theories. The official conclusion of suicide has been met with skepticism by many observers, especially given the irregularities surrounding the security protocols in the facility. At the time, including the failure of cameras and the alleged negligence of the guards on duty. When viewed through the prism of Epstein's alleged paranoia, his reported fear that the palace was actively seeking his elimination, the circumstances of his death take on an even more sinister hue. Was his fear truly the product of a guilty and desperate mind unraveling under pressure, or was it a tragically prescient warning that the powerful forces he had antagonized were indeed closing in? The fact that he allegedly sought out an SAS hitman to eliminate Prince Andrew's family suggests a man operating not just out of fear, but out of a desperate, preemptive strike against perceived enemies. It indicates a mind calculating the cost of silence versus the cost of exposure, and deciding that the ultimate price must be paid by others. Analyzing the implication of the claims. The claims put forth by sources like Phil Dampier and Andrew Lowney and detailed in publications such as Woman's Day are profoundly disturbing because they intertwine the highest levels of global finance and organized crime with the ancient, almost sacred institution of the British monarchy. If Epstein genuinely believed that Prince Philip, a figure synonymous with duty and tradition, was capable of orchestrating the death of his own daughter-in-law, it speaks to a deep-seated conspiracy worldview that the financier had adopted. This belief system, whether accurate or delusional, provided the framework through which he processed the palace's fury over Prince Andrew's involvement. The specific targeting of the Yorks further underscores the level of personal animosity and fear. By attempting to eliminate Prince Andrew's immediate family, Epstein would have been silencing potential witnesses, removing key liabilities, and sending an unmistakable violent message to the institution that he believed was hunting him. While no evidence has ever emerged to substantiate the claims that the royal family was involved in Epstein's death, or Diana's for that matter, the fact that a man like Jeffrey Epstein reportedly internalized and acted upon these fears provides chilling insight into the mental state of a man facing total collapse. The allegations suggest that Epstein was not just facing the law, he was facing a system of power that he perceived as being above the law, a system capable of executing justice, or revenge, outside the courtroom. The enduring controversy surrounding Prince Andrew's association with Epstein, the subsequent fallout, his removal from royal duties, and the staggering financial settlement he reached in the civil case brought against him, all confirm the immense pressure the scandal placed upon Buckingham Palace. Epstein's alleged fear of royal retribution, therefore, might be understood as an extreme interpretation of a very real institutional crisis. These claims force us to consider the ultimate price of proximity to power and corruption. For Prince Andrew, the price was his public life and reputation. For Jeffrey Epstein, the price, according to his own alleged fears, was his life itself, cut short in a high-security cell in New York. Conclusion: the shadow of doubt remains. The story of Jeffrey Epstein is not just a tale of financial crime and sexual abuse. It is a complex narrative about the terrifying intersection of wealth, influence, and the perception of impunity. The newly revealed details regarding his paranoia, his belief in a royal family conspiracy involving Princess Diana, his alleged attempts to hire a former SAS operative to kill the Yorks, and his final, desperate assertion that he would be the next victim, add a layer of dramatic, albeit unsubstantiated, terror to his final days. We may never know the full truth of what transpired in the Metropolitan Correctional Center on August 10, 2019. But what these sources reveal is the staggering extent of the psychological warfare and genuine fear that consumed Jeffrey Epstein, a man who, despite his immense wealth and global connections, ultimately felt himself powerless against the forces he had provoked. This story serves as a stark reminder that in the world of the ultra-powerful, the lines between fact and fear, justice and conspiracy, often become impossibly blurred. What are your thoughts on these shocking allegations? Do you believe Epstein's fears were pure delusion? Or do you think there is a possibility that the forces he believed were arrayed against him were real? Share your opinions and insights in the comment section below. We read every comment, and your participation helps drive these crucial conversations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for our next detailed investigation into the stories shaping our world. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.